Hello and welcome. In this video, we will discuss how to fill out IRS Form 2553 and maximize your business benefits. The information contained here has been prepared by Civitas Strategies Early Start and is not intended to constitute legal, tax, or financial advice. The Civitas Strategies Early Start team has used reasonable efforts in collecting, preparing, and providing this information, but does not guarantee its accuracy, completeness, adequacy, or currency. The publication and distribution of this information is not intended to create, and receipt does not constitute, an attorney-client or any other advisory relationship. Reproduction of this information is expressly prohibited. In today's conversation, we will discuss Form 2553 and how it can benefit your business. We will also walk through the steps for completing and submitting it. Form 2553 is a tax document that child care business owners can submit to the IRS at the beginning of the year to classify the business as an S corporation. When you declare your business an S corporation, you are choosing to change the way your business is taxed, which comes with numerous tax advantages and financial benefits. As an S corporation, you can take advantage of pass-through taxation, reduce self-employment tax, and maximize deductions for business expenses. As long as you meet the necessary requirements, fill out the form correctly, and comply with ongoing obligations. To help you best classify your business and take full advantage of the benefits that come with being an S corporation, we are going to walk you through filling out and submitting Form 2553 and how to remain in compliance in your new business classification. Form 2553 is an IRS form used by eligible businesses to elect S corporation status for federal tax purposes. The form should be completed within 2 months and 15 days after the beginning of the fiscal year of which the classification would go into effect. For most child care providers, the fiscal year starts January 1st. In this case, the form would be due by March 15th in order to be classified as an S corporation for that year. S corporation status is typically the most advantageous classification for small businesses because of the variety of tax advantages, benefits, and flexibility it offers. Pass-through taxation means that your business profits and losses pass through to the individual tax returns of the owners of the business. This means that any money made or lost for the year is reported on the business owner, tax returns, and you will be taxed on the income at your individual tax rate. Pass-through taxation is in place of corporate taxation, where the business itself would pay federal income tax on its profits at the corporate income tax rate, in addition to the taxes you would pay on the profits that would be reported as your income. With corporate taxation, you would be paying taxes on your business profits twice, and pass-through taxation allows you to skip the initial corporate tax when your business is classified as an S corporation. If your child care business is classified as a sole proprietorship or a partnership, you're likely subject to paying self-employment tax, a tax that is meant to cover your Social Security and Medicare contributions. As an S corporation, you are required to pay yourself a reasonable salary, and this salary is subject to self-employment tax. However, any additional income earned beyond the reasonable salary can be classified as distributions, payments made from the profits of a business, and are exempt from the self-employment tax. The key here is the difference between the reasonable salary and the distribution of profits. By paying yourself a reasonable salary and taking the rest of your income as distributions, you can reduce your self-employment tax. It is important to note that you are required to pay yourself a reasonable salary first, and that the IRS does not specify an amount for this salary, so be sure to discuss this with a tax professional to ensure that you remain in compliance with the IRS. As an S corporation, you can deduct ordinary and necessary business expenses when calculating your taxable income. Ordinary and necessary expenses are those that are incurred in the ordinary course of and are essential to operations. For example, deductible expenses for a child care business could be employee salaries and wages, rent or lease payments, utilities, including electricity, water, and heating, advertising and marketing costs, meals and snacks for children, or materials like toys, art supplies, and books. Deducting expenses reduces your taxable income which in turn lowers the amount of taxes you're paying. For an S corporation, expenses are deducted from profits before they're paid to business owners. It's also important to keep proper records and documentation to support your deductions and consult with a tax professional to ensure that you remain in compliance with tax laws. Electing to be classified as an S corporation requires information about the shareholders of your business, including their names, addresses, social security numbers, and date of birth. You will also need their percentage of ownership of your business and their permission to make the election. If you are the sole owner of your business, you will only need your own information. You will also need to provide basic information about your business, like the employer identification number, business name, and address. To start, download and print a copy of the form by scanning the QR code shown here or visiting the IRS website at the bottom of the screen. Once you have the documents, go through the following steps to fill out Form 2553. Begin by filling out the top section of the form. This includes your corporation's name, address, IN, date of incorporation, and tax year. Next, indicate the effective date of the election. Indicate the date you want the S corporation election to take effect. This date can be no more than 2 months and 15 days after the beginning of the tax year in which the election is made. Then, indicate the type of corporation. Check the box indicating the type of corporation, domestic or foreign, and the type of entity, C corporation or other entity. Indicate the shareholders' consent. Check the box indicating that the shareholders have consented to the S corporation election, and provide the date of the shareholder meeting where the consent was given. Then list the shareholders. List the names and addresses of all shareholders and the number of shares of stock they own. Provide other information required by the form, such as the name and address of the corporation's principal officer. Once you have completed these steps, sign and date the form. The form must be signed and dated by an authorized officer of the corporation. Finally, submit the form to the IRS within 7 to 5 days of the date of incorporation or at the beginning of the tax year for which the election is to be effective. Now that you've successfully filled out Form 2553 and your business is now classified as an S corporation, you need to be mindful to complete all necessary steps to remain in compliance with the IRS to maintain your classification. To do so, you must do the following. Hold regular shareholder meetings to remain in compliance with your incorporated status. Maintain accurate corporate and financial records. File annual tax returns. Pay all owners a reasonable salary. Ensure that shareholders report their portion of your business's profits on the K-1 form, and be aware of and comply with any state and local requirements. Thank you for joining me for today's discussion. If you are interested in other helpful resources, information, and guides, visit childcaretexas.gov to find these on various topics in both English and Spanish. There, you can also sign up and register for free one-on-one business coaching. Thank you for joining me for today's discussion. If you are interested in other helpful resources, information, and guides, visit childcaretexas.gov to find these on various topics in both English and Spanish. There, you can also sign up and register for free one-on-one business coaching.